Hey, Shabbat Shalom, my friends. You know, it's always difficult to say something you believe is true and is right and is moral when you know it's going to be met up with opposition, when you know it's going to make you less popular with your friends or within the society in which you operate. And I'm sharing this idea because, number one, it applies, and I'll come back to this in a moment, to voting out Zohran Mamdani. And number two, it's everything having to do with this week's Parshat Noach. Noach is this great tzaddik, is this righteous person who God sees as someone worthy of salvation. And he tells him to build an ark to save himself and his family from this terrible flood because the generation had become corrupt. But some of the rabbis teach that the ark was meant to be built not simply to save Noach and his family, but to prevent the flood from happening in the first place. That's why it took 127 years to build. God gave Noach all of this opportunity, all of this time to try to turn things around and prevent the flood from happening. Why? Why didn't he? Why was he unsuccessful? Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, of blessed memory, suggested that Noach was unsuccessful because he was too loved, and he didn't want to lose that love that he had from the people. Torah tells us at the end of last week's Parsha how Noach got his name. This person will comfort us from the difficulty from min ha'adama asher Hashem, from the ground that God had cursed. God had cursed the ground because of the sin of Adam and Eve, and it made it very difficult for them to bring forth produce, fruits and vegetables. They couldn't get through the thorns and the thistles. Noach built the plow. He was like the Thomas Edison of his generation, and boy, did they love him. And when it came time for him to give some musar, to tell people that they were acting and behaving in an immoral way, he couldn't do it. This is Rabbi Sachs' suggestion. He was too loved. He was too appreciated, and he didn't want to threaten that. And I feel the Jewish community is at the same kind of crossroads here in New York City. Some people are saying, you know what, Mamdani might become the mayor. And if he becomes the mayor, then we have to have a good relationship with him, so let's befriend him now. And there was a group of Jews that did that last week. Very upsetting to me. But I want to give kudos and a yeshakach, a rabbinic pat on the back, to a colleague of mine, two colleagues of mine, Rabbi Emil Hirsch, who's a very prominent Reform rabbi, and Rabbi Elliot Cosgrove, very prominent conservative rabbi, both who came out and urged their congregations to vote and not to support Mamdani for many, many reasons. But Elliot Cosgrove said something very important. You can take the pragmatic approach and say, well, he might become mayor and therefore we have to put that pragmatism aside and do what's right. Even if we are unsuccessful in voting him out, we have to know that we tried to oppose what was wrong, what was unjust, what was evil. A man who calls Israel's legitimate right to defend herself after October 7th genocide 3 times in the debate, in the mayoral debate last week. Genocide, genocide, genocide. Every other people in the world can defend themselves. When the Jews defend themselves, it's genocide, really? Such a person is going to be the leader here in New York City, in this great city with 1 million Jewish people? So that's the practical aspect. But morally, ethically, we have to say the right thing, even if we believe. Pragmatically, maybe that's not such a smart thing. Oh, maybe he'll become. We have to go down as doing the right thing. Noach didn't speak up. He didn't want to lose his loved status. Forget about our status. Since October 7th, these last 2 years, we've seen what unfortunately so many people truly believe about the Jewish people. Speak your mind and vote your conscience and tell your friends, especially those that are on the fence. Because a lot of Jewish people are on the fence, believe it or not. To me, it's clear, but it's not clear to everyone why this man needs to be voted out and why we should risk being loved. It's already gone. Let's try to do the right thing. Shabbat Shalom.
Hey, please like and subscribe so we can get these really important videos out to a larger audience. Thank you.